Okay, in this video we're going to cover the installation of the Dakota Tactical folding brace adapters for select B&T firearms. The folding brace adapter, also known as the FBA, comes in three sizes. It's offered in a long length for the B&T P26, it's offered in a medium length for the KH9 as well as the TP9, and it's offered in a shorter length for the GHM9. The folding brace adapter package also will include the hardware installation key, 2 thin small shims, and the mounting hardware pack. What is not included, however, we do strongly recommend that you have available to you during time of installation, is some type of lubricating grease. We happen to have some Slip 2000 extreme weapons grease here in the shop, so that's what we're going to use for the purpose of this video. But you can use whatever you have on hand, some white lithium grease, even some automotive bearing grease if you've got that. But please do get some grease lubricant before you begin the installation. So getting right into it, we have here, let's clear out some room, a B&T P26. So for the purpose of this video, we'll use the P26. However, the installation is the same across all 4 models of guns. First things first, go ahead and grab your hardware pack. Open her up. Inside is the mounting hardware for the adapter. It includes a locking bar, the locking bar spring, the locking bar plunger screw, and the pivot screw. So let's go ahead and take the locking bar and we'll show you how that goes inside. So if you look at the locking bar, on one side will be a threaded hole. That slides into this slot right here on the top rear of the firearm. The threaded hole goes on the left hand side facing down. You're just going to drop that in just like that. So flip it over. If you've got it installed correctly, you can look right down inside that hole there and you'll be able to see the threads in the locking bar. So the next step would be take the locking bar plunger screw. Now, how you tell the pivot screw and the plunger screw apart. The plunger screw will have a longer shoulder here at the head. The pivot screw has the shorter. So go ahead and take the plunger screw, slide the spring over the end, and drop it right down inside this hole here in the back. Keep your hand or something underneath here. This is spring loaded, so in order to get this threaded down, you're going to have to give it some downward pressure, and you don't want the locking bar popping out the other end. Take the included hex key, go ahead and push it on down and get it started. Once you've got it started, you'll know because it won't pop back out, of course. And then you can go ahead and complete screwing it down. Now, very important, do not over tighten this screw. Once you get it bottomed out, you can go ahead and snug it up a little bit, but do not over tighten it. You do run the risk of damaging the locking bar and or the screw if you do so. Next step, you can verify function. If you press on the bottom of the plunger screw, you'll see the locking bar go through its range of motion like so. Go ahead and grab some of that grease that you have on hand, and what we're going to do is we're going to apply that to this leading edge of the brace adapter. So the brace adapter will install with the locking bar channel on the left hand side facing forward, the pivot screw on the right hand side. If you've got it upside down, you will not see the visible locking bar channel. So on this leading front edge here is where you're going to apply the grease. Take a small amount like so. Just go ahead and dab it across the top here like that. You don't need a lot, just a little bit. Get it on there. That's going to help facilitate ease of locking and unlocking. So to install it on the gun, go ahead and push up on the plunger, which will raise the locking bar, and just take your folding brace adapter and just go ahead and slide it right in. So depending on the gun you have, the tolerance of the fit, it may slide right in, it may require a little bit of elbow grease, But in any event, just, you know, be aware that, you know, there's some fitment there, so just get it on in there and go ahead and flip it upright. You can take a look down in there to double check to make sure you have everything lined up correctly. Then go ahead and take the pivot screw and drop it in there. If the pivot screw does not slide in easily, it means you don't have it lined up. You can release the adapter and give it a little wiggle if you need to try to get that pin to drop right in, but it should drop in nicely if you've got it lined up correctly. Go ahead again, take the included Allen screw and tighten it down, or the Allen key, and tighten it down. Once again, do not over tighten this screw. You can snug it up a little bit, but do not over tighten. There's a brass insert here at the bottom. If you over tighten it, you run the risk of damaging the brass insert as well as damaging the screw. And if you do that, it is not covered under your B&T warranty. Okay, so from here, we're going to test fitment. So once you've got the assembly together and you've got it locked into place, go ahead and grab the back of the firearm like this, grab your adapter and just give it a little wiggle. Some play, a slight amount of play is acceptable. If you have an excessive amount, what you can do is you can take these two shims that we include. So to install the shims, you'll go ahead and remove the screw, slide the adapter out. The shims will mount on the top of the adapter as you slide it in. I'll go ahead and use this adapter here for demonstration. So take a little bit more of that grease that you had from earlier. You can apply a little bit to the top of the adapter around the hole. That will prevent the shim from sliding off as you're manipulating it into the gun. If you're going to use two shims, go ahead and apply a little bit to one of the shims, so that way when you stack the other shim on top, they stay together nicely. Now if you're going to use both shims, you can use the thick, you can use the thin, or you can use both. In the event that you're going to use both shims, we found that it's much easier if you use the larger shim on top and the thinner shim on the bottom. It seems to go together much easier that way. Then go ahead and place them right on the adapter, and what's going to happen is that grease is going to hold everything together for you. So as you take this and push up and slide that in, you're going to have to brace it back here with your finger, but you should get that in. It should go in nice and firmly, and that grease will help keep everything in place. If you find that it's just not working out for you, you're not getting it in there, and you're having some difficulty, well, maybe you need to remove one of the shims or try the thin versus the thick, depending on which one you're using. So once that's done, you can go ahead and flip that over, look down. Again, you can use a pen cap or a tapered tip of a pen. You can get that in there and kind of wiggle it around to help line the shims up. But once you visually see that everything is lined up, go ahead and drop the screw in. Again, wiggle it if you need to. Get it down there, tighten it down. Do not over tighten, and you're good to go. Now for operation of the adapter, if you push the plunger at the bottom, that will release the adapter and allow you to fold it forward. And you can, if rapid deployment is necessary, you can go ahead and just kind of pull it and snap it into place. That's the importance of the grease. The grease is going to help ease that rapid deployment. However, for a range setting, nominal use, we recommend that when you do extend it, go ahead and push up on the button, drop it down, release the button, and lock it in place. That will help reduce wear and tear on all the components of the system. So with that said, let's look at the Gearhead Works tailhook. Now obviously this is not included. You can purchase these directly from Gearhead Works or from your favorite online retailer. They are ambidextrous installation in that they open, you can install them opening to the left or opening to the right. I am a right-handed shooter, so I'm going to have mine opening to the right. If you look, you'll see that there is a keyway cut. Gearhead Works did a nice job including that feature. There is a keyway cut here in the bottom for alignment. And what we have done is on the bottom of our FBA, you'll see a guide pin. So go ahead and take the adapter, line it up with the guide pin. I should say take the brace, line it up, and slide it on. If you find that it does not slide on easily, it could be that you need to loosen up these screws. I want to say they're 3/32. We don't include the Allen key for these. I don't know if Gearhead Works does or not. But in any event, I believe it's a 3/32 Allen key. Go ahead and loosen them up, and that should slide on fairly easily at that point. As with the other piece of hardware, tighten the screws down, make them snug, but don't over tighten them. All right, so there you have it. The Dakota Tactical folding brace adapter for select B&T firearms, servicing the Gearhead Works Tailhook Mod 1. Thanks for watching.